On this special occasion, 55 years ago, the town of Embro began celebrating the Canada Day with a unique Scottish fair, marking the inception of the Embro Highland Games. In 1999, the Taiwanese community in Toronto was honored to be invited, the first non-Scottish for join this festival celebration. My name is Edward Chang, co-chair of Canadian Makai Committee, the host of the fantastic show presented by the Toronto Taiwanese community. As we gather here today, I'd like to share a significance of our celebration. Reverend George Leslie Mackay, a remarkable individual, one of the men and women who changed the world from Embro, who, Mackay was sent to Taiwan, Formosa, now Taiwan, as a Presbyterian missionary over 150 years ago. He married a local Taiwanese woman named Chang and dedicated his life to spread the gospel, building schools, and establish church, hospital, while introducing the value of science, equality, and human rights. Now, today, Taiwan is a vibrant, high-tech nation, and the people over there still cherish Mackay's contributions. We are delighted to bring you a talented puppet and drama show. It's called Formosa Cinderella. And the musical performance by gifted musicians from Taiwan. Now they settle in Canada. They'll play Taiwanese melodies blended with nostalgic Scottish tunes. And as a special treat, the Ingersoll Pipe Band will kick off our program. Please join me in welcoming you when you welcome them to the stage or to the front and start our program. It's all yours, Embro Pipe Band. Thank you. Indigo, Thailand. They have been Taiwan before, maybe 3 times over there? That's right, I remember 3 times. Yeah. Okay, now we start the puppet and drama show. Enjoy.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Now we are presenting the Muppet and Drama Show presented by the Merry Muppet Group. How many of you grew up listening to fairy tales or watching the Disney movie versions of them, all of which had a happy and romantic ending? At least the Disney version did. Now I am going to tell you a different story, which took place in 19th century Formosa, now Taiwan, about a young woman and a Presbyterian missionary from Canada of Scottish descent named George Leslie Mackay, who was from this area, Oxford County. Now you can see the display over there. You can see all the story of Mackay, George Leslie Mackay. You know, it has so many parallels with the story of Cinderella. Act 1. Once upon a time, in 1860, to be exact, a baby girl was born on a tea plantation in North Formosa. Although the family already had the necessary son, but father was disappointed with the girl, and some thought she should be disposed of. But the mother had other ideas. She kept the baby, whom she named Changa. Act 2. Like a Cinderella, Changa had a very happy early childhood, secure in her mother's love. One day, her mother called her in from praying with her brother. She explained that the family of the boy she would marry was coming to visit. So she washed Changa's face and hands, combed her hair, and dusted off her clothing. Mother takes out a roll of clothes and indicates to Changa to sit and have her feet bound. Changa vehemently protests that she does not want this done. It seems her mother was forward thinking and honored Changa's wish not to have her feet bound. But like a Cinderella, there came a time when this idyllic life came to an end. It was a tradition that marriage was arranged while children were still quite young. A new family came to her house with a little boy who was to eventually be her husband. Her mother greeted them warmly and introduced them to her family, especially to Chang'a. Her stepmother, to be pointed angry at Chang'a's unbound feet and was not pleased. Chang'a looked sadly to her family and waved goodbye. However, like Cinderella, Chang'a had the equivalent of fairy godmother. The grandma in the second family smiled at her and took her hands as they departed. Act 3. Now they grew up. They are teenage now. Year passed. Like a Cinderella, Chang'a, now in her late teens, lived under the stern of her cruel stepmother, who forced her to do chores such as sweeping the floor. She was frequently slapped and beaten by her stepmother. One day, when she stepped in with a heavy bucket of water and bent to clean the floor, her stepmother kicked her. Ow! And Chang'a fell to the floor. The grandmother scolded her daughter-in-law for her cruel treatment. As the grandmother often did, she led Chang'a over to her chair, where the girl rested her head in Grandma's lap and sobbed. But her respite was short-lived. When her stepmother approached her with her fist clenched, she quickly got up and started scrubbing. Things got worse. When the boy who was to marry Chang'a suddenly died. The grandmother wondered what she could do for Chang'a to free her from this intolerable life. Act 4. Makai entered the stage, followed by a group of men who stand before him as he starts to mime preaching. One day, Grandma went out to do a bit of shopping when she was distracted by a young preacher with a long black beard, who was telling a crowd about his God, who was a God of love, peace, and understanding. Just like Changa's birth mother, Grandma was a forward-thinking woman. She stayed to listen and told the preacher she wanted to learn more about his God and wondered about his plan to build a church and a school. Remembering that Changa was a very intelligent girl, she asked Makai if he would admit girls to his school. Makai suddenly looked surprised and happy and nodded vehemently to Grandma. Grandma agreed to bring Changa to the school the next day to be a student and later a teacher. Makai so happy. She finally got girl student. Act 5. The next day, Grandma sitting in the living room told Changa to put on her best clothes and come with her. Together, they faced stepmother, who angrily pointed at the floor and the wash bucket and told Changa to start cleaning. She demanded why Grandma wanted to take Changa to the school of that black-bearded barbarian. Grandma stood on her ground, shook her hand at her daughter-in-law, and drew Changa off with her. Stepmother was furious and kicked the wash bucket, spilling some water. She hurt her big toe and jumped with pain, slipping in the spilled water and landing on the floor on her behind. Stepmother was so angry. Act 6. Grandmother sitting in the living room as usual, busy on knitting. After Changa's first day at school, Changa ran home joyfully, went to grandmother to show her what she had learned. But stepmother broke this happy moment. She limped over to them, cuffed Changa on the side of the head, pointing to the bucket, told her that she had to finish all her housework before going to bed. Changa knelt and dutifully scrubbed the floor. It grew late. Stepmother already went to bed. Changa still scrubbing. In a little while, Grandma get tired too, yawned, and went over to Changa. She pointed to the dark sky, indicate it's late. But all Changa did was nod and keep on scrubbing. Finally, Changa finished. Plucked her rat into the bucket and yarn. She stood up. Instead of sleeping, she opened a book and read her lesson. They all gone to bed. Act 7. Several years passed by. Changa could now read and write in her own language, and now was a teacher. Good morning. Jesus love us. Jesus love us. When the school bell rang, the children shouted and hurried out of the classroom. Changa waved goodbye to Makai and his assistant pastor, Gan Ching Hua, whom Makai nicknamed Ahua. Changa exits. Just outside the door, she realized she has left her textbook behind and went back, but not wishing to disturb the men's conversation, she waited outside the door. Inside, Makai was pulling his hair, complaining to Ahua. Although the mission and the school was thriving, the participant was mostly men and boys. Ahua reminded him of the local custom. The women rarely went to events led by a man. He wryly said to Makai, "What you need is a wife." Makai groaned and told Ahua that it would take years to find a Canadian missionary who was willing to travel to the other side of the world, learn a new language, adjust to the local customs, living conditions, and the weather, let alone marry a man with long black beard. Ahua laughed and told him the best solution would be for him to marry a Formosan woman whom the local woman would be more likely to listen to. Makai looked puzzled, rubbed his nose, but Ahua pointed to the book. It's Changa. But I'm much older than she is. I guess I could ask her. Ahua told him that he would need to get a permission from her family, and he volunteered to be a necessary matchmaker. Makai smiled and exited the room with a spring in his step. When he was gone, Changa came into the room and picked up her book. She and Ahua at each other for a second, and she nodded and smiled. That's it. Good start. Act 8. In Changa's 19th century house, grandma and stepmother already looking forward to a special guest. Ahua arrived at Changa's house and bring a gift. Grandma smiled and nodded. Stepmother make a sweeping gesture as if to say good riddance. Finally, they make some sign that they agree to the marriage. Stepmother storms off stage, rubbing hands together as if to say, glad to have her off my hand. Grandma bowed to Ahua and they say goodbye. Grandma make okay sign to the audience. Ready for Makai and Changa to travel.
Now that we are married, we can travel all over Formosa together and spread the gospel of God's good words.
While we travel, I'll teach you more Taiwanese.
And I'll teach you more English. For our trip to Canada, I will report to the Presbyterian Church in Canada of our mission. My mother would love you. She would introduce you to the various women's groups to raise support to build the first girls' school in Formosa. In Canada, it will be called Mini.
When we return to Formosa, we'll continue our mission, and we will have children to honor our Formosan, Scottish, and Canadian heritage, and honor God's word.
Oh yes, we will continue our mission to spread the good words of God.
For Christian soldiers walking through the world, remember our Jesus going on the wall.
Can you sing it? We sing together.
Everybody!
Onward, Christian soldier, marching on the
Is that great? Yeah, we try. Yeah, we try our best. Yeah, with some technical issues, but we should try. Thank you very much. Next one is our music performance. The first one we're going to do is West, Mid, East. Okay, that's good.
Okay, next one is a video.